Okay, it's called Banks Canyon Trailhead, and so we're here. Um, um, and this is not a good map, but it is. So basically, this is the start of Rough Canyon. There's also a road that goes that way, um, and if you take Rough Canyon, which is there's a lot. Yeah, it's you have to find the trail. It is a very technically hard trail to go on. But it goes off of the Micah Mine Trail. So this is Micah Mine. So Micah Mine, so this is Little Park Road. And then Micah Mine, you come in, it goes downhill and it breaks off. There's actually a trail, if you look at Co-Tracks, it actually goes like this and goes up onto right here that you can also go on to. And then this is Rough Canyon. It is about 2.5 miles, and then you can see it comes here, and then you can go on this upper road. Going down through here is hides and is very interesting. And I will go on the very first part of it, but it's a trail not for the faint of heart. You will be skipping over big boulders that are not quite the size of cars, but they're pretty stinking big. But this is the entrance of Micah Mine, and you come to the parking lot, and then you go down this trail. This is both the Rough Canyon and Micah Mine. So, and we're just gonna go down. Micah Mine, I think, is like what, mile and a half or so in, and a mile and a half back out. The other trail, there's another trail that goes, so it goes up, and it goes up onto here, not quite to that red point up there, but there is another trail, but it's more of a very faint trail. I've taken it before, and yeah, you have to know what you're doing. But the Micah Mine Trail is very well taken. There's a lot of people that normally go on it, but there's a break. So all of the trails, you basically go down, and Rough Canyon goes off to the left. Micah Mine goes off to the right. But it's a very good way to spend your time in getting away and listening to God. And this is what I do. If I'm going through stuff, I break away and I go on trails like this to get closer to God and to just to listen and get away from all the radiation and all the craziness of our world. Which, yeah, it's going to get way worse with the so-called benefits being cut off. Our government, I don't see it coming back. The new beast system is coming online now. And so yeah, you're going to have to potentially come out here, but you're going to need places where you can have access within a few miles of water and with food resources. There's not a whole lot of food in here. This does get covered with snow, but you can come in here, but most of this stuff is not edible. You can have this is juniper, the juniper berries, but they're not really edible. They're not very good, but they have these little juniper berries. They're not very good. So yeah, so I'm going to keep coming on with updates on this trail. Okay, so you basically come down this chute, and then this is Rough Canyon. So Rough Canyon goes that way, Micah Mine goes this way. And Rough Canyon is, you can actually do part of it, but it gets really ugly past that point, because you go over a place where falls go over. So there's places where there's a 5 and 10 foot fall, and you can go around it, but it is a gorgeous little canyon, and you can do an out and back thing where you don't have to go down more than just a little part of it. But it is a nice canyon with this high wall, and then there's a road that goes up there that you can come back on. Okay, so this is a continuation of the trail, and you can see that it's It only gets worse from here. You're basically going through rocks and through crevices and up and over different places. So you have to be ready to climb and bend and go all over. But yeah, this is the type of trail this thing is. So this is one of the falls. You can see where my dog is going, but you can see that this is the trail that comes down, and then there's a drop off. So this is the fall that I was talking to you about. There is a way around, but yeah, you have to watch where you're going, but it's like this the whole rest of the way. There's drops that have large rocks in them. This trail is not for the faint of heart. This trail is definitely not for a novice hiker, because you're going up and over rocks that are pretty big. Like, I'm a 6-foot guy and it's challenging. And obviously I have a rock or a dog that is, yeah, may have gotten himself into a mess. But yeah, you can see how interesting it gets. Onward. Okay, so I'm in the canyon still, but if you're looking for food, you would look for leaves like this, and it doesn't matter where you are in the world. I mean, in the US, if you find leaves like this, they're lobed or pointy. There probably are acorns underneath it, but animals also like to eat them. So yeah, but this is gamble oak. It likes to, I usually don't find it at lower altitude, like below like, what, 5,500 feet. Well, I guess I'm at almost 6,000 here, but the views here are gorgeous. It's just, you're going down a riverbed pretty much, and there's not really side trails you can take because there's sheer cliffs on both sides of you. But yeah, you're definitely having to step down and up in a lot of places. It is fun. But yeah, you have to take your time. During the summer, it will get hot down here. I did it in, I think, August, and it was a little on the thirsty side, but you can see that there are pools of water at certain times of the year. Like if it just rained, they will stay behind. But yeah, but onward. I turned around and I'm heading back towards Micah Mine. So I'm now in Micah Mine, going this way, but this is the other trail that I was talking about. It's not very well marked, and it just goes up, and you just keep going. It's a unmarked trail. It's an unimproved, and most people don't even know it's there. But this is Micah Mine. It's a fairly easy trail. There's about half mile or a mile and a half in and mile and a half out that goes to an old Micah mine, and there is a trail that splits off of it in 2 different spots. It goes up the side, and I will point that out. But onward. So I'm going down, and you can see that it still has that same feel of rough canyon, but it's different. That's a cottonwood. They do not like to be out of water, so if you're trying to look for water and you find cottonwood, more than likely there's water there. And this is willow. They have usually long, more pointy leaves, and they're also a water species. And then you have your sage. That's really good for cleansing the hands. Has different properties. This is pinyon pine. There's usually pine cones underneath it. Certain times of the year, I think like in September, October, when the pine cones fall, you can get nuts out of them. And that also, you can make a pine tea out of it. But onward and down the trail. This is further down the trail, but you can see it. There are these big rock walls, and you're just kind of going along. And you always be cognizant of what's around you. And just, I mean, there are these little pools, but there's animals all around you. But yeah, you can see that this is a fun trail to go down. But yeah, this is a very active trail because it's kind of more on the easier side and has a big mine. But with mica, you have a lot of quartz, so all these little white is the quartz, and then the mica is these thin papery sheets that look like quartz, but they're really thin. And I'll explain what those are afterward or down the trail. Okay, so going down the trail, this is what mica is. It's just these thin sheets. This is what makes up the cell phone glass. It's just really thin, transparent glass. Or not, this is not glass, but it's kind of flexible. But this is highly prized. But this mine was shut down, I don't know, probably in the 1800s. But this is a long way to go for mica. But Colorado is very well known for a lot of minerals, from gold, silver, and other valuables. But you can see that this trail it goes up this valley and continues a little way to a fall, if you know where you're looking. Okay, so this is quartz. This is where a lot of the mica, you can see little sparkly bits in here. But there's a trail that goes right here and goes up the side, and I think you can see the cut right there. But it goes above the mine, and you just have to watch your step and not get too close because the rocks crumble. But as you can see, there's places like this where the mine used to be, and you can see piles. But I'm going to show you the main mine, obviously. It's a little bit further down. Just wanted to point out that trail. So I'm all on old pieces of, this obviously was made here. But you can see this looks like, was it concrete? You can see different rocks inside of it. But this is, not belong, but you can see the line. They pulled carts and stuff through here. And you can see there's a drill hole. Another drill hole. But yeah, so this is a cool area with a lot of background. But yeah, wherever these white rocks are is mica, pretty close to it. But so there's the main mine right there, and that trail goes right to up there, and it goes right above it. But this is the main mine site, and you used to be able to go in there. However, recently the rocks have crumbled and fallen on top of people, so they shut it off because it was too much. But you can see all the little flickers. This is all mica. But yeah, all this was mined out for mica. But yeah, but there is another trail that, let's see, I think it goes, so here's the main mine site, and you can see holes. I think you go this way and you go up and you can keep going to a site. It doesn't go much further. It's like a waterfall, and you can't get out of there. There's sure rocks like that on all sides of you. So this is what I was talking about. So it dead ends into this, and yeah, I hit water. But yeah, you can see there's no way out. There's rocks on all sides of me. But this trail is one that's well hidden, but it's exactly where I said it was. So up the side, but you really can't, oh, I guess if you're a rock climber, you could get up and out, but I would not recommend it. And I know I'm pointing into the sun, so yeah, so that's it. But yeah, so this, you can add on to it. There's multiple side trails, so you can make it longer. But yeah, it's up to you. But yeah, it's pretty, oh wow, I did not notice that. Okay, so if you notice, there are little ropes hanging off of this, and it looks like they've made, you can see there. So obviously someone has made a rock area right there, coming down. So interesting. But yeah, so this is a major rock area. Have a good day. I don't know if I'll come back on. We'll see. Okay, so I thought this was cool. You can actually see the mica on the rock. So they took it out. You can see other places where it's in the rock, but you can see the drill holes. Toby, come back this way. But yeah, so this is all mica in here. And I guess it just wasn't efficient to get this stuff out here. But yeah, but it's a nice look. Have a good day. Well, I may come back on, we'll see. So this is looking on the way out. I just wanted to point this out so you can see this. But yeah, you just basically go out the way you came in. Yeah, and then that's the end of this trail. But yeah, there's a lot of crystal and other things all over that they have put out. My guess is they mined at the main site and then put deposits all over the ground where they took all the stuff out, because it's pretty tight in there, and when you're dealing with a lot of men and pickaxes and all kinds of other stuff, you have a limited space. So onward. I think I'm going to finish it up by saying that life is, sometimes you can't see where you're going, and you just have to depend on God and know which way. Like sometimes you can see like exactly where the trail goes, because I know it goes through there, but it's like, how do you get from A to B kind of thing, and what can you use along the way. Like I told you about this sage, it has that pungent odor to it. Like if you supposedly you can make mud sticks out of it and other things. You can't really eat it, but it can be used to ward off insects. But yeah, so life is in this canyon won't exist in the near future. If what I see coming happens, that means that this world is going to go kablooey very fast. And what I can see in my mind's eye is all these rock walls falling, and all these canyons that are here are going to be destroyed. Life is going to change instantly. So right now, life may be going along, and you may have a few rocks in the path, as you see, in places where it's uneven. But in the near future, the path is going to be destroyed, because I believe that the last 7 years are here. And yeah, and we've talked about that earlier on my other videos. But yeah, so you've got to go to God now. If you don't know him, I would highly suggest you get to know him very fast, because he's the only one that'll get you through. And I'm seeing that a lot of people don't want nothing to do with God, and so they steal and whatever, because they're starving. Like you're seeing people running out of benefits, and they're basically stealing and trying to get stuff, and since the government won't provide it anymore for them, and they're in bad places, then they're starting to go after stores. And so in the near future, you're going to have to choose between God and the mark. If you take the mark, you're done. And actually the mark is not just a physical mark, it's a spiritual mark, and that it changes and alters you. And I think part one may have been the the sharp object going into your upper, you know where. And I think that may have been part one, because I've watched my family members change before me when they took it. So yeah, I mean, in the near future, and also if you're going and going with the flow and having tattoos and going with the fleshly world, you may already be marked. You may not know it yet, but you may have already been marked if you're going along with society and willingly doing whatever they say. You may have already given in to what they're doing. If you're drinking blood, you've given in to their system. If you're doing things that are complete opposite of what the Bible says, then you're not doing life right. But yeah, so I would advise getting out in places like this and hearing from God, getting away from your phones and your internet and everything else, because soon you're not going to have a cell phone. I've had a EMP dream where it knocked out everything, and we're going to be going to the dark ages, and with everything being hit, it's going to take, if we had that long, it would take tens of years, which we don't have. So but yeah, I'm going to end it here. Thank you for joining me. But yeah, so this is Micah Mine in Rough Canyon. Rough Canyon lives up to its name. It's basically, you're going through cataracts, which are like waterfalls. But yeah, so this is Micah Mine with a Christian twist to it, I guess you could call it. But yeah, it's a very popular trail. I've run into quite a few people already. Have a good day. And maybe one day I'll see you.